Eric Morgado here, ECI 630, Week 1 assignment, Authentic Technology Integration, Theory and Practice, which is what we're doing right now, which is first time I'm ever navigating through two programs and be able to commentate on what on my finds using the two articles. So the designers have, step one, the technology preparation, which I've done. Now, step two, the resource preparation, blogging, and use civic voice, which is an awesome video, by the way. And then we have the article, the framework for 21st century learning. So in part one, I am recording now as using Screencast-O-Matic, as well as the I've already visually viewed the video, Educating for Democracy in the Digital Age, which is an awesome video. And there are 3 points to answer. So, the first one is examine the benefits and challenges for students using digital media. Look, after viewing the video and, of course, looking at that, there was a great amount of information. And so the benefits of students using digital media, the bottom line and the most important idea of using digital, for the students to use digital media, anyone to use digital media, is to be able to engage with the software and to be effective in communicating your ideas, just like we're doing here. We're simulating this through the course, through the assignment. So, teachers and students teach and learn with peers using internet-based technologies for communication in real-world situations. For example, the school in Oakland, where teachers have a curriculum or a program called Educating for Democracy in the Digital Age, and it is a district-wide effort to provide support in local high schools with and collaboration, or to collaborate with the teachers and other school leaders to create curriculum. And so one of the benefits that I saw was that one of the roles I've seen was where the teachers were getting the young people to engage in the politics, and not just to write letters to editors of newspapers, but to actually get the attention of news networks like CNN, which is very popular among the youth, which I thought was amazing. And as I scroll down here, let's see, that's another question, actually. So to the second point I wanted to touch on was the fact, the challenges. There were challenges. There's the benefits. Now there's challenges. There's a couple of challenges in using digital media. First of all, the most important challenge, probably that the theme of throughout the whole video, is credible sources. Learning how to cite works. One of the things I learned throughout my whole, even previous degree program, for example, is to use your own words, paraphrasing. Something I learned, had a whole class in. And, I'm, in the past, where a lot of us are used to quote, cut and paste a quote and cite it with the author and page number. And that's fine. However, I think it's more meaningful and deeper if we are thinking about what we're reading, as well as to be able to express that through paraphrasing. And so this is something that I've just started doing probably within the half of the year, and it is very difficult at times. I will say. So one of the things that I've seen with this question and watching the video was that the sources that we're using, are they credible or not? And that's a challenge, and we have to make sure that to learn the difference between what's a credible source and what's a source. Now there's a lot of information on that at the Ashford Writing Center. So that's something I noted as a challenge, one of the biggest challenges. Plagiarism, cyberbullying. These are other challenges as well. And so moving back, navigating through this is fun, actually. I'm going to get used to this. I'm going to get better at it in the future. This is my first time doing this, so I love it. The idea, the point is, relate your observations from the video educating in the digital age to 21st century learning outcomes. Well, yes. I mean, and to do that, as I navigate here, there's the question already. And the idea is that after viewing educating for democracy in digital age, I have observed how it relates to 21st century learning outcomes. 21st century learning outcomes is a framework that illustrates skills, knowledge students need to succeed in work, life, and citizenship. Of course, you see the citation there. The 21st century themes are throughout the video, particularly government and civics, and English and reading or language arts. This was featured when the students in Oakland were blogging and writing on social issues that were in real-world situations. So the idea, this was actually from another video, the May Day, that should have been removed. But the fact is that in this video, the video of Education for Democracy in the digital age, it was mentioned a couple times where they were. If I just go back and navigate through it, they were writing to CNN, actually getting it, tweeting, getting there, wanting to get the attention of CNN, hopefully getting some kind of response. And then let's see here. That's referring to the source that you have to analyze information if it's accurate or not. That answered the question for. The challenges. I'm gonna get better at this. So let's see. This one was about. Okay, so let me find the answer to what I was saying. So yes, so the example is that they were blogging. They were blogging about social issues, the current issues that relates today, and I think that's a very important. That's a very important. Method. That wasn't done 40 years ago. That was unheard of. You had to go to a special school if they did that. But that's something I saw, and it's being practiced in theory and practice more and more as time progresses. I think that's awesome. So the question is, the last point was access the value added to the teaching, learning experience when technology is integrated. So one of the things that's really exciting about what the teachers are doing with the students in the program is that they're finding ways to combine active engagement in the real world and around issues of young people, which I found to be very, very important. And how it relates to the 21st century skills, just really quickly here. 20th century student outcomes, and it has to do with, number one, the content and knowledge of 21st century themes. And we see the government and civics here, and then we have the English reading and language arts, which I think was amazing. And let me see one more. I believe there's one more question. I think I touched on. Let me look. I'm going to look at a doc that I wrote previously that actually helps me with this. And as you can see here, I have a document and some references. So yeah, relate your observations of video editing, democracy, digital age, 21st century learning outcomes. Of course, as it states here, this is just as a guide for me to be able to track to see what I'm doing, because navigating for both of these is very interesting. First time I've ever done it, but I'm going to get better. I think all of us will get better as we progress through the class. So yeah, and I have no problem if I mess up. So let me just look at something. I apologize. Relate the observation. So here, to answer the last question, it's stated that I actually put, after reviewing the education for democracy in the digital age, I observed how it relates to the 21st century learning outcomes. 21st century learning outcomes is a framework that illustrates. I think I already read that for this question, for the last one. I think I already mentioned it, but for the second and third question. But anyway, this is interesting. So the observation I observed most of the time was that they're tweeting among a lot of people to get CNN's attention. It seems like the learning, a lot of the observations that I made had to do with how real world situations, or themes or social issues are basically being taught as in real time. In other words, it's not that you're not reading something out of a book from a textbook from 20, 30 years ago. You're actually going online and finding an issue and then blogging about it is what these students were doing in Oakland, which I thought was very effective. So yeah, that concludes my my assignment for part 1, and part 2 is coming up. So yeah, if there's, like I said, I'm off for any feedback. Again, it's my first time, and this is an organizational just for training, because as we look at the transcript from both framework and the the video and highlighting it using the software, I think it's awesome. My first time navigating through all of these. I think it's fun and challenging, but I will get better. Thank you very much, and have a great evening.